One of the biggest issues facing us today is global warming. Its effects on animals and agriculture are indeed frightening, while the effects on humans are even scarier. Global warming are often debated in politics and media, but unfortunately, even if we disagree about the causes, global warming effects are real, global, and measurable. But what comes to our mind when we heard the words global warming? Global warming refers to an unequivocal and continuing rise of global average temperature of the Earth's climate system. There are many things which causes global warming, and most of them are man-made causes. Now, let's dig deeper to those causes. Human activities. The fact that human exhales carbon dioxide is normal, but what makes a problem is the increasing number of population. Another one is the pollution we produce, especially through air such as burning of fossil fuels, cigarette smoking, smoke belching, and etc. Industrial advancement. Industrial revolution in the 19th century saw the large-scale use of fossil fuels for industrial activities. Fossil fuels such as coal and natural gas supply most of the energy needed to run machines and vehicles, and it also generates electricity for industries. About 75% carbon dioxide emissions, 20% methane, and 30% nitrous oxide, and those greenhouse gases contributes to greenhouse effect. Use of chemical fertilizers. Agricultural soil management is the largest source of nitrous oxide emissions in the U.S. Deforestation. Deforestation is the removal of a forest or stand of trees with the land thereafter converted to a non-forest use, and eventually timber, woods, and charcoal as the byproducts. Based on what I've read, 200,000 acres of rainforest are burned every day, and we are actually losing a tropical forest size of New York every year. Greenhouse effect. Greenhouse effect is a process by which thermal radiation from a planetary surface is absorbed by greenhouse gases and is radiated in all directions. Without greenhouse effect, Earth would be far too cooler to sustain our ecosystem. But since greenhouse effect exists, and human activities is making it worse, greenhouse effect increases the Earth's temperature that leads to global warming. Ozone depletion. Ozone depletion is the destruction of the upper atmospheric layer of ozone gas caused by expelling of chlorofluorocarbons or CFCs, and CFCs are expelled by using aerosols, spray cans, cleaning agents, air conditioning, and refrigeration. Without the ozone, ultraviolet rays will go directly to Earth and will increase Earth's temperature. Now that we have tackled the causes of global warming, let's move on to the effects. Rise in temperature. The Earth's average global temperature during 1961 to 1990 was 14 degrees Celsius. If we would divide it by 30 years, we can conclude that the average temperature is 0.47 degrees Celsius per year. But in 2013, the average global temperature reached 0.62 degrees Celsius, that if we multiply it by 30 years to compare it to the average global temperature from 1961 to 1990, we will get 18 degrees Celsius or even greater than that for the next 30 years. Rising in sea levels. Scientists have predicted an increase in sea levels worldwide due to the melting of two massive ice sheets in America and Greenland. Many nations will experience the effect of rising sea levels, which could displace millions of people. Effects on animals and agriculture. According to research published in Nature, by 2050, rising temperature could lead to the extinction of more than 1 million species. For example, due to melting in the Arctic, polar bears may be gone from the planet in as little as 100 years. In the tropics, increase in sea temperature causing more coral reefs to bleach, while several countries in the US may even lose their official birds as they headed for cooler climates. In agriculture, due to global warming, some farms change their crops to adapt the increase in temperature. Example, farmers in Nepal, finding that cultivating rice isn't as productive as before, so they changed. The impact of global warming to agriculture had been small because somehow farmers were able to adapt to the increase in temperature. The question is, how long can farmers adapt to these conditions? Effects on human health. Crops as a result. Though the needs such as food, water, and air It also provides us essential services such as floods, disease control, and nutrient cycling. Global warming may also cause human health problems due to microbes, bacteria, and toxic algae blooms in the coming decades. More deaths and illness due to heat waves, natural disaster, and the expansion of tropical disease such as malaria and dengue fever are expected. Ecosystem failures. Ecosystem is what provides us our basic. But since global warming exists, ecosystem is stressed. Ecosystem failures example is ocean acidity that is caused by increasing atmospheric carbon dioxide concentrations. As a result, coral reefs, fisheries, and other marine species had been threatened. Economic collapse. Copenhagen Consensus Center says that more global warming will be worse for the economy, as the effects of global warming on agriculture continues. Thunderstorms, typhoons, and other disasters come. The economic status of a country will fall down. Climate change is a significant and lasting change in the statistical distribution of weather patterns over periods ranging from decades to millions of years. Yes, it's normal, but due to global warming, climate change today is recognized as a threat. As a human, the largest contributor to global warming and the most affected living thing, what can we do to at least minimize global warming? Our government introduced laws, bills, and acts such as Philippine Clean Air Act of 1999, which formulated a national program of air pollution management that aims to encourage cooperation among citizens to prevent air pollution. Another one is the Climate Change Act, which created the Climate Change Commission that aims to integrate the concept of climate change and provide funds for the adaptation of a country to climate change. Next, Montreal Protocol. This international treaty was designed to prevent the ozone depletion by phasing out the production of numerous substances like CFCs that is responsible for destroying the ozone layer. Lastly, Kyoto Protocol. It is an international agreement that was designed for stricter demands for producing greenhouse gas emissions.